Welcome back. Moving forward, in this lesson, I'm going to demonstrate how to create a Pareto chart on dual axis using SPSS. Of course, you can use Excel, but I'm going to use SPSS, which is a more professional software. You can download it free. Just search for IBM SPSS statistical data editor or download for free. You'll get to your IBM site and then you'll be able to download it. Okay. So here, I'm going to demonstrate just with some sample data how to create a Pareto chart. So I'm going to click on File, and then I'm going to go on Recently Used Data. So this is called the ice cream data, right? So the different flavors of ice cream that we have. And you can use any data. I'm going to assign you homework as well. But here I have, let's say, an ID column, then the gender, which is female. In this instance, the ice cream types, 1, 2, 3. That means there are 3 types of ice creams, the video and puzzle. If I click on the variable view, I should be able to see the actual labels, right? Or the categories or the labels, the variables for this data. So I have this ID, female, ice cream, video, and puzzle. Each of them are different types of data types. So this is nominal. The top 3 are nominal, and then you have the scaled data, which is numeric. In fact, all of these are numeric data types. Perfect. So in order to create a Pareto chart, you'd have to click on Graphs and then click on Chart Builder. This brings up the Chart Builder dialog box on the bottom. I'm just going to reset here just in case. Next, I'm going to click on Dual Axis, select the Dual Axis, and just simply drag this chart to the gallery window here. And notice it gives me the y-axis on both sides, and then of course the x-axis, which is the horizontal axis. Also brings up the element properties. If I don't want to see it, that's fine. If I want to see it again, click on element properties here. It's going to bring up the element properties dialog box. So here I have all these variables, right? Remember all these variables that we saw earlier are actually listed here. I can simply drag them wherever I want. So on my x-axis, I like to know the flavors of the ice cream, right? So I'm going to simply drag it on the x-axis. And it kind of shows me the preview with example data at this point in time. So bar 1 is now assigned as y-axis, and the statistic is mean. So what I like is simply a count at this point for bar 1, and click apply, and notice this changes to count on both sides. Next, I have the option to click on line 2, which is this particular line that's just selected, which is the line 2. And the statistic here is count. I'm going to change it to cumulative percentage, okay, because I'd like to see the cumulative percentage. The interpolation is either a straight line, step by step, jump or spline. I'm going to leave it as straight. Click apply. And notice on the right side on my dual axis window or the graph window here, it says cumulative percentage. And then on the left is count, and then of course my types of flavors. So once that's done, I click OK. And SPSS is going to run the analysis and create the actual Pareto chart for me. Sometimes it just takes a few seconds to do the calculation and pop up. Okay, let's see if it did create. Oh, there we go. Perfect. So here's the output window. So first it kind of tells what the actual commands that it ran. And then if I scroll down, I should be able to see my chart. Perfect. And of course, dual axis, right? So I have count, cumulative percentage, and then the flavors of ice cream. I can of course change these values. For example, if the counts, I'd like to change the scale of these, I could change the labels and so forth. So let me in fact demonstrate quickly one, and then you can practice on the others. So I will just double click on this. This will bring up the chart editor window, and then I would again double click on this again to basically have the properties show up for this count. And notice how all of these counts are selected, and the properties window is here. I'll have to go to the scale tab, and here I can change the increments. For example, if I want increments of 2, the maximum of 22 I could do so. It depends. So based on your own data, you can then increment it. Since the data has 95 rows, right? So it can't be 22. I can go up to maybe 100, okay, with an increment of 2. So click on apply and notice the count axis on the y-axis changes. So that way you can play with it. Similarly, you can double click on the bar itself. You can change the colors. You can sort these values. So right now it's vanilla, chocolate, and strawberry. So they're in ascending order. If you like to sort descending order, select descending, click apply, and it's going to do the descending order as well. And you can close this. So this is a good way to take a look at and use the SPSS. It's very professional, very powerful software. Of course, you can do this in Excel, but since you as a project manager or Lean Six Sigma manager would like to get into SPSS, I would recommend using this and learning this tool as well. With this tool, no matter what kind of data you collect, you can also run regression analysis, correlations, and whole kinds of outputs. For instance, let me minimize this and actually show you what you can do with it. So you can, under the Analyze tab, notice you can do the regression analysis, log linear, classify, scale, the parametric test or non-parametric tests you can do. You can also do AMAS, which is another add-on to this, where you can actually run structural models if you really want to get complex. But for this data that you actually collect from within the organization, you can run various tests and do analysis. So that's why I would recommend using SPSS. It may take some time for beginners to actually grasp what's all in here, but for now, if you can just practice with the Pareto charts, maybe some other basic charts, and based on the data that you collect. So practice with this. I hope this helps. If you have any questions, post them in the discussion area. And with this, let's move to the next lesson.